It's your girl Hannah here on this second Wednesday of December. I literally say this every week, but it's still true. I cannot believe it's December, and it's almost 2022, which I don't know about y'all, but I am super pumped for a new year because I feel like 2021 was a year of regrouping from 2020, but also still kind of not living our best life, to the fullest, the most free version of ourselves, I guess. So anyway, all that to say, I am super pumped for this podcast episode. I'm going to be joined by our very own Chase Harrison to kind of talk about why you don't have to wait until the new year to focus on getting in shape, getting in your best health, whatever it looks like for you. You don't have to wait until the clock strikes midnight and the year turns to 2022 to do that. So that is what we're going to talk about today. But before we do that, I want to remind you of a couple of things. First off, if you've not yet, please go follow us on Instagram at Olyap. Very simple. Find us on there on Instagram, as well as our Facebook page, Olyap, there as well, because we have tons of information, giveaways, fun things like that you don't want to miss out on. So once again, if you have not yet, find us on social media, on Facebook and Instagram, both at Olyap. So I am going to be joined here in just a second by our very own Chase Harrison, but if you also have not yet caught up on the last couple of weeks' podcast, you will want to do that because we're going to have Jim Bob Haggerton on here towards the end of this month. He is going to be with us the last 2 weeks of every month to talk about some really fun topics. This month's going to be a lot with the holidays and especially emotional support when it comes to holidays because let's be honest, not everyone actually looks forward to the holidays. But all that to say, this week is going to be a fun topic. I am super pumped for this. I am very passionate about this, and this is actually what I end the podcast with every single week, encouraging you to get in your best health every day, each day, one drop, one supplement, one oil at a time. So all that to say, Chase Harrison, welcome in. That was a long intro, but it's important because you got to remind people to go back and listen to previous podcasts and also to find us on social media. But Chase, how are you, my friend?
Chase was here, but he left.
Chase has left the building.
I'm wonderful. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. All right, so Chase, like I said, we are going to talk today about finding not having to wait until 2022 to get into the best shape of your life, whether that is physical, emotional, mental.
I love this topic come the end of the year.
Yeah, because, I used to have, like New Year's resolutions, but I realized that, let's be honest, January 1st is probably the gyms all over the world. It's like their busiest day.
Time.
And then you go to that same gym that same time, March 1st, and there's less people. And then people are like, well, I'll just get in shape next year, not realizing they have 10 months. Whether it's 10 months, 10 days, 10 minutes, every second counts.
Yep. And it's literally the same song and dance every single year. The gyms promote themselves super heavy in December and the beginning of January to work on your New Year's resolutions. Mm-hmm. And it's just an endless cycle that repeats itself every year that we really need to get out of.
Yes.
It's great. It is great to start your fitness journey and your wellness journey at any time. It's great. We're all human. We all fail a lot. And, at the bare minimum, keep going, whether that's your New Year's resolution every year to restart that. Find ways that you can be more consistent with that and continue that and drag that on past January.
Yes.
We work on, my wife and I, we work on small goals. Small goals are so much easier. It's so much easier. It's so much harder to say, okay, my New Year's resolution is going to be, I'm going to go to the gym once a week for entire 2022. For all 2022, I'm going to go at least once a week.
Yep.
Well, you're setting yourself up for failure because, none of us have any clue what the next 12 months, much less 6 months, much less 3 weeks, is gonna entail.
Exactly.
For us. So smaller goals like, let me push forward and let me get to the gym twice a week for the next 3 weeks. Yeah. And we'll see how that goes. Let me eat better, better supper meals for the next 2 weeks, and let me see how that goes. Small chunks are so much easier to bite off than big, large ones.
No, I agree 100%. I think that's so important because, even in my weight loss journey, my introduction to CrossFit, it wasn't like this big, I'm going to do this and that. Like when I started my weight loss journey, which I've lost 50 pounds, that wasn't my goal. And again, my beginning was simply, I'm going to just work hard for 1 month. and I'm just going to eat right. I mean, I was in college. I was a senior at the University of Alabama, and I remember going home. I want to say it was, after Thanksgiving, honestly. And I looked at my mom and I said, I need to lose some weight because my weightlifting coach wanted me to drop a class, and just realized I was strong, but I could be a lot stronger and be lighter. And so my mom helped me cook a bunch of meals. We put them in the freezer. I was living in a dorm. I was a resident advisor. And so my first step was simply reheating meals that I had cooked that weekend with my mom. That took a lot of time off of me during the week, but it also helped me from eating pizza and, Buffalo Wild Wings and all that stuff that's good for you, and not good for you, but it's fine for you in moderation. But it was something that I was eating every meal. And so that simple task of, hey, I'm just going to focus on this for my time is so true, because so many people are like, I have to do this for a whole year. And I'm going to say this too. You're not a failure if you mess up or if you slip up or if you don't do that, because that is a legalistic mindset. I've been there. I mean, when I've been on diets and, maybe 3 months I haven't had dessert and eat a chocolate chip cookie, don't let that cookie derail all your progress. I mean, just because you had a cookie, it's fine. That's another topic for another day, Chase, but I'm just agreeing with you that, we have to give ourselves grace because we're human and we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Lord knows, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, much less in 6 months from now. So,
but you look at like diets. Diets are super popular. There's a diet every week, a new one comes out, a new method comes out, a new water detox or whatever comes out, which I don't, there's few that I'm gonna just frown upon and tell you to just completely stay away from, but diets are temporary, lifestyle changes are permanent. And so my wife and I, one of the biggest eating habit methods, I'm not even going to call it a diet because it's not, that we stumbled onto years ago was Whole30. Yeah. And the reason that I loved it so much is because as a society, we are so stuck on and used to eating out. Like, we all eat out. I'm guilty of it. You're guilty of it. We're all guilty of eating out.
It's convenient.
It is convenient.
Fast.
It's easy. And a lot of times, nowadays it could be cheaper than cooking at home, depending on how you buy your food,
Or where you buy it.
Right, or where you buy it. So, but we stumbled on Whole30, which Whole30 is designed, a great benefit of it is you'll lose weight, but it's not designed for that. It's designed to figure out what your body doesn't like and weed those things out. We did it a couple times. We loved it. It was very effective for us. And now, one of the best things about that is it teaches you to cook. It teaches you to cook using good products. It teaches you, you substitute things like arrowroot powder instead of like flour, or almond flour instead of regular wheat flour. Just things like that, and you learn so much. You learn to cook. We completely transformed our life to where we're back to cooking at home for a large portion of the time. And the thing about that is then you get leftovers. So those leftovers, they help you. Doesn't mean you're going to completely not eat out all the time. Yeah. Or sometimes, you still will, but at least you have leftovers at home of that. And again, that became a lifestyle change for us. And, and I think we did it probably in a December or a January, because we said to ourselves, we are going to kick off this year, our quote New Year's resolution or whatever. We're going to kick off this year with this new program or whatever, and it worked very well for us. And we've just kind of adapted that as our normal life now, in the way we eat and the way we cook and all that kind of stuff, because it was a lifestyle change for us. And so it's December of 2021, and 2022 is coming up. But that date, the 31st to the 1st, does not mean the world resets itself. It doesn't mean that your body resets itself. It doesn't. It's just another day. So you can start now. That's why you don't have to wait till the beginning of the year. You can start now. Find something that works for you. Make that lifestyle change to better yourself.
And I think that's a great transition, segue into our next topic very quickly, which is going to be, young living. I mean, that's what we do here at Ole Yap. I mean, all of us here have a story, have a reason, have a why when it comes to young living. And I think...
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I was on my eating tangent.
Yeah, eating tangent. No. So it's so true. I mean, everyone has a reason they start. And I want to say this very quickly is, my reason was not your reason. You know, we all have our own reasons why we start, and we all have to start somewhere. So for me, mine was more physical, like a physical change in my body weight, which became a spiritual change, which became an emotional change and mental change, and it affected every other area of my life, because once you get started on one path, like once you go down the path of eating right, then you open up all these doors of healthy living, whether it may be like with Young Living, getting rid of the toxic chemicals in your house, or maybe it's emotional support, or maybe it's, hey, how can I best support my cognitive health, right? There are so many avenues of healthy living that I think we forget about. And so for me, that's why I want to encourage you, is that, I have had many people on my Young Living team, or even friends, who are like, you know what, like, it just overwhelms me. The thought of just becoming oily overwhelms me. And that's because they see all these products on the Young Living website, not realizing how simple and how fluid the transition is. I mean, the very first thing I tell people to start is just start with the Deep Household Cleaner.
Right.
I mean, it's a one-stop shop cleaner that you can use for everything, whether it's your bathroom floors, whether it's your kitchen cabinets, whether it's your kitchen sink, whether it's your, the interior of your car. I mean, you can clean everything with it, toilets, whatever. And that's a great way for people to say and see how products work, but also how it's just one step at a time. So that's what I want to say very quickly, obviously, Chase, is that everything in our life, whether it's our diet, whether it's our emotional health, whether it's our physical health, you just need to make one small decision, one small change every day. I mean, I will tell you, when I was doing that diet, like that was like, whoa, like what, 11 years ago now? That's crazy to think. No, 10 years ago. So, no, not that far. No, 2014. That's 7 years. Okay, I started college in 2010. So 2014, I was a senior in college, and my coach just said, just pick one meal a day to eat at home and count your macros. And I was like, in the beginning, it seemed overwhelming, but it was just one small thing I did that drastically changed my life. Now, even 7 years later, I am healthier, I'm stronger, I'm even more in shape than I was then. But the point is, all I had to do was take one small step in the right direction, and our lives changed forever.
Yeah, and it takes work. Like, you have to be disciplined. You have to have self-discipline.
Yep.
Self-discipline. I lack that a lot of the time. But, like with Young Living, that is, we love Young Living. We love it. I mean, the majority of our life does revolve around Young Living because we love it so much. But ultimately, it is still just a tool in a big tool bag of all of our health and wellness, our decisions and what we do.
Yep.
So, I don't know. It's always good to choose something that's going to better yourself. Yeah. But instead of just continually choosing something and stopping it, and choosing something and stopping it, pick something and work on your self-discipline with it and get good at that. Get
consistency.
Good at eating. Yeah, get good at eating right. Get good at going to the gym every day. Get good at that kind of stuff. It took, when I started the gym back this year, I started the gym back February of 2020. Is that right? I think so.
I don't know.
It might have been. No, it was 2019 maybe. Yeah, 2019 I think is when I started the gym. And
not for the first time.
No. Well, I mean, consistently for the first time.
Yeah. Okay.
I've always done like cardiovascular stuff my entire life. I was a swimmer.
That's how we met, Ragnar.
I was a swimmer in high school and college, and then I got into road cycling and road racing and all that kind of stuff. So that's been my stuff. Gym was just never a thing for me. Lifting was never a thing for me. And then I got hooked up with Tom Nicola and his Vigor program, and I love that. That works for me. I know you guys do CrossFit, and CrossFit's phenomenal.
Oh, Ernie and I have not consistently done.
Look, I'd love to jump into CrossFit.
There's a little local gym he and I have pitter-pattered out a few times doing it. I enjoy the programming, but I will say, you have to pick something that's simple. Because, we do a CrossFit workout. I don't feel, that's an hour, I don't have 3, 4, 5 hours a day to spend in the gym.
I don't go 3 or 4, 5 hours
I know
a day.
You don't. I'm saying.
I go 45 minutes.
Okay, well, that's still about 2 hours
and if
by
Tom
the time
ever
we do
to this,
CrossFit.
He's going to tell me I need to do more. So.
Yeah, well, so let's say hour and a half. Plus an hour of CrossFit, that's 2.5 hours in the gym. Most people don't have that time. So you have to pick what works for you. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I love that. And I love doing CrossFit whenever I come up
here. Yeah, you love them burpee box rollovers. We know that.
Golly. But I'll do it with Ernie and Bear and a bunch of guys.
You've done it with me too.
And I've done CrossFit, and I enjoy CrossFit. it is not conducive for my time of my life right now. It's just not. I enjoy the gym. I enjoy, Tom's Vigor program, and it works for me.
Yeah,
but it took a long time to get consistent with that.
Exactly.
It took a long time and a lot of forcing myself to get up and go to be consistent with it. But it worked.
No shame in your fitness game.
Yeah.
And that's the point. So before we wrap this episode up, just want to encourage you one more time that you have the ability, you have the knowledge, you have everything you need to get going tomorrow, even today. It's Wednesday. Just because it's Wednesday doesn't mean you have to wait until Monday, Chase, to get back on your diet. Just because it's the end of 2021 doesn't mean you have to wait until the beginning of 2022 to get in the best shape of your life. And it doesn't have to be physical. I'm just reminding you. It doesn't have to be physical health. It could be emotional health. It could be cognitive health. Whatever it looks like for you, just know that is what we're here at Ole Up. We want to help encourage you, inspire you, and motivate you to get in the best health each and every day. One drop, one supplement, one oil at a time. All right? Mm-hmm. So for Hannah and for
Chase,
I guess we will see you next week.
Chase.
Which we'll be joined by Ernie Yarbrough next week. We're going to have kind of a 2021 recap on Ole Up this year, what we've learned, and what we're excited for going towards 2022. Because I think it's important that every business and every company and all coworkers kind of get together at some point in the year and kind of talk about what they like, what they enjoy, and what we need to do better. So that's kind of what next week's episode is going to be. But once again, before we end this, want to encourage you to go check us out on social media on Facebook and Instagram. Ole App, super simple. And yeah, once again for Hannah and for
Chase,
we'll talk to you next week. Talk to you later. See ya.